Hey y'all, what's up? It's TND and welcome to yet another episode of TND Won't Shut Up,
where we discuss and debate relationship topics from a healthy couple's perspective.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel for weekly discussions and share with a friend or two.
Or three.
Or four.
Or five. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just ready to get this recording out the way.
Yes, we tried to do it the day after. Things ain't quite work out. But we did put out some other content. So if you have an opportunity and you're interested in some healthy couples content, it's a new series that we're doing. Please check it out.
Yes, it's called the Ultimate. What is it called again, baby?
The Ultimate Healthy Couple Series.
Yeah, the Ultimate Healthy Relationship Series, and we're doing different episodes. So the first one was communication, and the next one might be something exciting.
Yes. All right. So what's this episode that we're gonna review?
This is Ready to Love, Season 9, Episode 8. Exes meet the Nexes.
Yes, this was a good episode.
It was a good episode.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started, baby.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so the episode starts in the ladies' lounge with Tommy. The ladies walked in looking so gorgeous, but honorable mention to Maya's dress.
She took the cake.
That dress was so beautiful.
She was killing.
She looked so nice. She walked in. I'm like, get it, Maya. But the ladies look amazing. So basically, Tommy tells the ladies that it's time for you to introduce the men to your ex. Which, do you like that?
I'm a huge fan.
You are a fan?
I mean, I actually wish that when you meet any woman, you're afforded that opportunity because it gives you so much insight. Because the choice that a woman would make for a partner, I mean, it can really show you some things that you wouldn't otherwise know, or it'll take you time to know. Doesn't mean you got to judge the person for their decision, but in the initial process of meeting a person, you need all the information you can get so that you don't waste your time.
Well, I just feel like on the show, it is an unrealistic step. You're very rarely afforded the opportunity to meet the ex.
Yep.
So that's why I don't really like it, because I don't think it's realistic. But at the same time, it's also not realistic to date the same people in the same room at the same time and knowing,
Yeah.
So I guess it's okay.
Yep.
So nonetheless, we start off this episode with the first date where Patrice's ex is meeting Alonzo and William.
All right. So we got the first date, which consists of Patrice's ex Dro, Alonzo, and William. And I gotta tell you right out the gate, her ex Dro, serious dude, very direct. But you know what? Came off as a good dude. Sometimes people could get real turned off by that, kind of direct behavior. It's a little too much for certain people, a little intimidating.
Yeah, but his appearance, baby. This man, don't judge a book by its cover, for real. Because this man, when I first saw him, I was like, why would she bring this guy on here? He got tattoos on his face, doesn't look serious, looks kind of mean, honestly. But when he opened his mouth, he was everything she needed on that date.
Absolutely, 100%. And to be honest with you, his appearance and everything, with the way that Patrice is, she's a little bit eclectic in her way. Look at how Alonzo looks, and she's attracted to Alonzo. Mm-hmm. I'm not even that surprised.
Me neither.
Yeah.
And Patrice is tatted up, so.
Exactly.
I mean.
Yes.
Birds of a feather flock together.
There you go.
And when I looked at her, honestly, when I saw Dro, I assumed that she liked bad boys. That's the vibe that I got. But Dro also called himself a former hoe or a former whore.
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
He was calling it what it was.
He said he was a former
Probably
whore.
why they broke up.
Yeah. But he's married now.
Yeah.
No, Dro?
Yeah. So his first question, great question by the way, he just came right out there and asked them how would they feel about the friendship that Dro and Patrice have. Mm-hmm. Clearly they still keep in contact with each other. I love that question because if a man is insecure in any way, lacks confidence, gets intimidated, you're going to see it right there in that answer. So, for the most part, I think they both did answer the question pretty well.
Yeah.
No one came from a place of insecurity with it. They said that they would be okay with it. I think Alonzo, he was kind of giving props and credit to Patrice, for who she is. And that was more of the emphasis. And almost like he'll respect whatever she does,
But I like William's answer because he said as long as she's safe and she's protected, then I'm totally okay with
Yeah, no, but both of them, they handled that.
Yeah,
So that was cool. Then he came out and asked Alonzo, what don't you like about Patrice? Right? And his answer was that she throws curveballs. Now, I don't know about you, but that just threw me off a little bit.
It was a stupid answer. I'll be honest with you. It was nothing clever about it. What? And then he kind of said, "So do I." So I like it. So I'm like, so do you like it or you not like it? You don't like
exactly.
it.
And what exactly is a curveball? I mean, if you're getting to know each other, any question is pretty much valid at this point.
Right.
So I didn't understand that. And then Dro asked Patrice the same question, and she said that she doesn't know when Alonzo's serious because Alonzo's kind of a jokester at times, and that's actually a valid concern. And then William with his answer. What did you think? You talk about that.
William said he didn't like the fact that she tans.
Well, for the specific reason he said too, because she's high yellow.
Well, basically he was saying that he wants her to like herself for the way she is. That's basically what he was trying to say, and he didn't like the fact that she's tanning to try to turn herself into something else or somebody else. But like Patrice said, she just likes to decorate herself sometimes. There's no difference between women wearing makeup to hide blemishes and wearing wigs to extend their length of their hair, and I don't really see a big difference with tanning.
I agree.
But I think what William was trying to say is, which he could have said it better, was you're beautiful the way you are.
There you go.
He could have said it way better.
Absolutely. And to me, I mean, tanning is not my thing, but it's not an extreme thing.
No.
And so if she does that to make herself feel more pretty and beautiful, then that's all good. I mean, that would be the equivalent of me telling a woman not to use too much highlighter.
Right. Well, some people do overdo that.
They do, but if it's decent, it's not over the top, and whether I like it or not, or whether I have questions about it, I don't think it warrants me, feeling like questioning it. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't really see a big deal about it. And it looks good. I wouldn't even think she tan, to be honest. But I do understand, like, somebody who's really, really light skinned, they can get a little pale.
Right.
We have a friend like that she gets really pale, especially in the wintertime. So she kind of use a different shade of makeup so she can tan a little.
Yep.
But nonetheless.
Yeah. So then the question was thrown towards Patrice. What doesn't she like about William? And she said that William gets angry.
She didn't like the way he handled his anger.
Yes.
And William clarified that, he just needs a break. He needs a breather. He steps away, so that way he won't overreact or say something that he doesn't want to say. So I think that's a great way to handle your anger. And I just feel like it needed some clarification. And she got that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very responsible way to handle situations. And then lastly, she asked Dro, of the two, who does he think is best for her? And actually, he, I think, said the same thing that most of us probably feel. That Alonzo, clearly there's a connection there. It's a fun thing. It's something that, it could definitely work, at least for the short term with Patrice. But if she's looking for more of a long-term situation, William comes off as the more grown, mature man. Right. Something more suited for a long-term relationship.
I definitely agree.
So, but all in all, good date.
It was a very good date. He was actually the best man that came.
Yeah.
Best ex. Right?
I agree.
He asked the best question.
I agree. Unfortunately, the kids' situation wasn't brought up. Elephant in the room, 3 children. I think it's worthy of discussion, but whatever. Yeah. Neither here nor there. All right, on to the next.
All right, so in the next scene, we got the beautiful Mika going to meet up with Tommy, basically to tell him that she does not have an ex to bring, and she looked really nice in that confessionals when she started talking about it. She had the all black on with the red lip and the curly hair. Mika was beautiful.
She did.
Yes.
She looks great.
Nonetheless, he basically asked if you would like for him to step in as her ex, and if she would like for him to step in as her ex, and she was like, yeah, she would love that. And so Tommy decides to step in as her ex on that date.
And personally, a little concerned, whenever a woman cannot bring any ex to the table, I'm sorry, it's a flag. I don't know how else to state it.
Even if it's not a real ex, maybe somebody who's even dating, talking to something,
Somebody.
Yeah, you can't. I don't feel like I have one relationship that ended bad where we don't talk at all, but for the most part, my exes, none of us ended on the worst terms.
Now, truth be told, I probably don't want to call any of these people at all. I'm talking about in every one of my situations ended good. I just don't want to really call. But if you're participating in this show, you know this is something that you might have to do. And if I had to do it, do I have someone I can call? Absolutely.
Yeah, same here. I wouldn't want to do it. I haven't spoke to any of my exes in years. But if I had to do it, I know one of them would be happy to do it for me. In the next scene, we got Mika. Mika went to go talk to Tommy, basically to let him know that she does not have an ex to bring, which to me is a red flag. But Tommy asked if he would like for her to if she would like for him to step in as her ex, and she was happy about that. And yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. What did you have to say about that? Anything?
No, the biggest thing is just the flag of not having anyone to bring in. I mean, you have children, can't bring in the baby's father. You have, I gotta assume, people that you've dated or been in situationships with, or I'd like to think that there's someone who can speak highly of you in some way. But for me, I'm seeing a flag if there's no one that can show up.
I definitely agree with that. We at least have an ex.
All right, so in the next scene we had Vanessa's ex Thomas, Dominique, and Chaz. So of course Chaz walks in, with 2 bouquets of flowers in true Chaz fashion.
What was the purpose of the 2 bouquets of flowers? That was a little strange.
At first I was thinking, was that for her ex? The second one?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a little strange.
It was a little strange. But anyway, so all 4 sit down at the table. And I guess what immediately stood out to Dom is the fact that, here's Vanessa and her ex. They seem to have the type of relationship where they keep in touch with each other, and maybe that was evident in his mind through their body language and the way that they were conversing. Mm-hmm. And he came off super insecure.
Yeah.
Okay. And he brought up, I guess, one of his previous relationships where he was intimate. I'm like, at the end of the day, you're intimate most likely with anybody that you're dealing with for any extended period of time, if it's worthy of even mentioning. So what does that mean? You could never be around these people in a friendly setting. Everything about that just screamed insecurity.
Exactly. I would never have brought that up. Never.
Yeah.
I think that definitely screamed insecurity.
Period. But I feel like Vanessa and Thomas both did a great job of explaining, the dynamic of their relationship.
And they don't even seem like they have a really close friendship. It's like a here and there, high and by type thing.
Right.
But they don't have a close-knit relationship or anything like that.
Exactly.
What was explained by them.
Yep. And so then, Chaz, he starts talking about, where he's at right now, what his expectations are in the future, looking to settle down kind of thing, being very intentional. To be quite honest with you, I'm not buying it. Chaz, he's so good at saying what needs to be said in any particular scenario. I need to see more, because for such an intentional man, you don't just end up being 47 with no serious relationship, never been married, that doesn't sound intentional to me. You agree?
But, yeah, Chaz can talk a good game. I will say that. I hope Vanessa's not fooled, but Chaz ain't it.
Chaz ain't it. Yeah. And then, at the end, of course, the ex was asked, who do you think is best suited for Vanessa? And it was obvious there's no connection between Dominique and Vanessa at this point, and you saw that right there. And if there even was remotely a connection, that whole insecurity thing that he did right there, that shut everything all the way down.
Yeah, and Dominique don't put any effort into anything, so I would have been turned off and done with him
completely. And by the way, this comes after Vanessa specifically asked him to be more direct, come for her, and if this is what he's doing, then yeah. And then of course he said Chaz is the guy because, like we said, Chaz he says the right things, and of course he's gonna come off a better position to be for Vanessa in the long
and
term.
he also said, well, you like Chaz anyway, so that's why I'm choosing him. He also said that you like Chaz. Yeah, so that was that date. So the next date, what was it?
The next date was Maya, Wes, Justin, and William.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So what did you think about that date?
I actually thought it was a decent date. I'm actually kind of shocked about Maya and the ex that she chose. I mean, her ex. I'm surprised she would date someone like that. Maya comes out very classy, but this guy looks like kind of dope boy, B-boy.
I mean, I hate the stereotype and profile But perception is everything.
Did you see his lip? He's like
Looked like a birthmark to me.
Birthmark? I think he was smoking.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, he definitely was able to articulate himself in a better way than I thought initially when I saw him. So he could have been a good dude.
He was all right. And Maya also said that he still likes her. So wow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So Wes said that she was a very spoiled woman. I guess he took care of her. I don't necessarily perceive that to be that she was high maintenance or anything like that. Maybe he was just the type of dude that spoiled her like that. But Wes rightfully brought up the fact that William has 2 marriages, and he kind of wanted him to expand on why that didn't end up being what it is that he's pursuing. And I love that question. Is it the things that never get brought up about William regularly are these failed marriages and these 3 children. And
he's only 35, so you had 2 divorces at 35 and 3 kids.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's definitely a question that should be asked or should raise an eyebrow to anyone. Yeah. And I'm hoping that Maya asked him appropriate questions related to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Justin seemed very concerned about the finances, right?
Yeah, because Wes did bring that up.
He brought it up quite a few times, so that tells you that Maya needs somebody who is financially stable and have a little bit of money.
Yeah, right? and elephant in the room. He's a PE teacher.
Yeah.
I'm sure Maya conveyed that to her ex, because her ex brought it up in a way like, I know what you do for a living.
Well, he asked him, he said, what do you do?
Yeah.
And he said, I'm a PE teacher. He said, did she talk about finances?
Yeah.
I just felt like Justin really, his feathers got ruffled.
It did.
It
did. But one thing I will say about that, I didn't know if it was that Maya required a man that's making that kind of money, or was it West assuming that she's going to want a guy making that kind of money? Because nothing really came out of Maya's mouth about that.
Well, she's not going to say that. It's a way for you to say that. Especially knowing that you're dating a PE teacher, that his finances isn't where she's probably used to. And I don't know.
Well, truth be told, I'm more concerned with William than I am with Justin, because William was sounding broke to me. Period. Whenever a person starts talking about multiple sources of income, I'm in the Army Reserve, I'm doing he's a comedian, so he's doing all that multiple source income stuff. Sometimes that is not consistent income.
Exactly. Plus, he has 3 kids. I think Justin might be in a better financial place than William is, but who knows?
Who knows? So anyway, Wes was asked who's better suited for Maya, and he kind of took the easy way out. I think maybe he didn't like both of them, so he just said, follow your heart, Maya. You'll make a good decision. But I think if one would have stood out over the other, he would have stated it.
Or he likes her, so he didn't want to pick nobody.
That's a possibility too.
Yeah. And he probably is saying all that spoiled stuff and all the money thing just to kind of turn those guys off because he still likes her.
That's true.
So who knows?
Who knows? We will see.
All right. So in the next scene, we have Rashina, her ex-husband, Chris. They meeting up with Chaz, who shows up. We should call him Tiger Wood Chaz, because he showed up looking like he's going to play golf.
Straight up golf.
But I'm so glad that Rashina brought her ex-husband. I think that is amazing. We never get to see like a true ex. Like, these women been married and their ex-husbands can't come out to support, or help them choose the man that's going to be around their children, Yeah. So I thought it was really good that she brought her ex-husband. It also shows that they have a good co-parenting relationship, and he seemed like a really good stand-up guy. Seemed a little hood, but a good stand-up guy.
It sure has some glitter on it.
Yeah, that glitter. Oh, like a walking disco. I don't know what he had on. It was not for the occasion. Yeah. Nonetheless, Chaz come up like he about to go play golf, and he says that there's a lot about Rashina that he doesn't know. But then he have all this stuff to say about her, like we can go to the end together, and I'm like, you don't know about her, so he's just a lot of talk. Nonetheless, what else, baby? What else happened on this date?
So it was pointed out that there's a lack of communication. I think specifically Rashina brought up, upwards of 4 to 5 days, and that she would have to put an APB out on him, or start calling hospitals. I'm like, wait, why are you even entertaining somebody who's not talking to you for 4 to 5 days? Clearly, they're not that interested.
Yeah, but as you can see, it's a lot of talk because he had so much to say about her. But you can skip 5 days without talking to her.
Yeah. But Chaz is putting that charm on her again, because by the end of this date, she's talking about, Chaz ain't going nowhere. She really needs to see what Chaz is about. He inched his way up. What is she saying? I mean, he's saying what he needs to say when he needs to say it, kind of keeping her on the hook a little bit.
Right.
But this is what he does.
And action speaks louder than words. So he can say all this talk, and say all this stuff, and she's really smitten. And I'm just like, girl, he's not even calling you for 3-4 days.
Exactly.
Like, it's weird to me.
And she did say that, she was excited about the fact that finally there's somebody older than her that she's, pursuing. And so that kind of had me questioning, all right, so you've been dating down a lot? I understand some women date down occasionally, but if that's your norm, probably not the most positive experiences, right? I mean, you want someone probably at your level or higher with respect to maturity and intelligence.
But I think that she's saying that because of Justin. Remember Justin? I don't know why Justin didn't meet her ex, but he was her top connection, right? But yeah, I feel like that was kind of saying that in this process, a lot of these men are young. Okay. And they got one person that's older, and she likes that he's older than her. I don't know if that means that she was always dating young men, but who knows? Yeah. What do you think about the date overall? I don't think
there's any connection there.
I don't think there's any connection. I think Chaz is lying about the way he feels about her. I think he's just talking smack. Like we say all the time, he got the gift of gab,
and she's falling for it.
And I don't know why she's falling for it, because at her big age, if a man ain't communicating with you for 3-4 days, and then he comes and say all this stuff, you should be tilting your head and side-eyeing him. But she seemed really smitten and excited about Chaz. Anyways, at the end of the day, her ex-husband liked Chaz. And if you don't really know Chaz, he's a likable person. He knows what to say to be liked. So I'm not surprised by the way the ex felt about Chaz. And the ex also said, I'm glad that you're not into hood dudes, or you're not bringing hood dudes around my kids. And like, dude, you sitting here with a disco ball t-shirt
and gold teeth,
earrings, a big gold watch. You want her to keep your kids away from men that look like you? Okay, got it. Great date, though.
All right, great date. Moving on. All right, if you're still listening at this point, please take a second to like and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to grow our channel. We got great content that's going to be coming out in the future, in addition to our Ready to Love commentary.
Yes.
All right, so in the next date, we have Mika, Tommy filling in for Mika's ex-man, LaRon, and Justin. And of course, Tommy's going to come out with some meaningful, substantive questions. And one of the first things he asks about is disagreements. How would LaRon and Justin cope with a disagreement with Mika? And LaRon said, he would take more of an approach of checking the temperature throughout the day, sending some text messages, seeing how things are. And I'm assuming maybe towards the end of the day, start to engage. Mm-hmm. Where Justin had a different approach. It was more of, let's deal with this issue right on the spot. He didn't want to move through the rest of the day with negative energy, wanted to make sure she was good. And I think, that was more in line with what she wanted from a partner. Because, maybe that's how she handles situations like that as well. What did you think?
I just feel like, that's their answer and that's how they'll handle it. I think that it's important to give the space and give yourself time to think. And because sometimes you're so focused on trying to resolve the argument that you didn't even think through it,
Right.
And sometimes you just might say things that you don't even mean, or yeah. What do you think, babe?
No, I'm a big fan of stepping away. Actually, in this particular case, I think LaRon was kind of taking the better approach. It's allowing time to go by, kind of checking to see how things are, and then giving yourself time to cool down, and then maybe regroup later on in the day.
Right.
I know we all, whenever we go through stuff, want to resolve it right on the spot, but there's emotions involved.
And it's not always the best time.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily agree with any of their answers.
I agree.
Yeah.
So then, Mika started explaining why she broke up with her ex. Apparently he was a cheater, the way she said it. And then also he was a gamer. And I've never been really big into gaming, but I've heard of how gaming could really mess up a relationship.
Yeah, I think that the main thing is okay if a guy play video games. You play video games here and there. But at the same time, video games does not consume you. You know, it's not excessive, you know? And then you're not staying home from work to play video games, or you're not focused on getting the latest games and staying in front of video games for 5 hours a day, eating food and sitting in front of the TV and playing video games all day. That's a turn off. But Laurent says he develops his own games.
Develops and plays and will take off of work for a new video game that comes out. Clearly would trigger. If Mika has post-traumatic stress over that situation, it definitely got triggered with that type of answer from LeBron.
I agree.
Yeah, so
LeBron just seems immature, to be honest. But it's nothing wrong with a guy playing video games. It's the excessiveness.
So Justin then asked Mika, what is one of her weaknesses, and Mika says, that she may not be as attentive as she should be, that she sometimes gets overly consumed with the kids. And to be quite honest with you, her demeanor and the way that she is, I'm not even remotely surprised.
Yeah. I wouldn't even be surprised if she's not interested in changing that or taking the necessary steps to. Not saying that your date should come before your date, or your kid should come second, or you should neglect your children, but it's also important for you to make time for the person that you're dating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. So I think by the end of that date, she even mentioned it, friend vibes between her and Laurent. There's never been a connection between them anyway. And then if there was anything different than friend vibes, it got killed with the whole gaming comment.
Exactly.
And then Justin, it seemed like it was pretty decent between her and Justin in that date. I don't see anything special.
Yeah.
I just saw that it can live to see another day.
I think Mika's man is not here, and they're just forcing it at this point. Leave Justin alone. Justin want kids. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
And that's all I gotta say.
All right. So then in the next scene, we have Alonzo switching up the game, renting out a museum to take Patrice on a date. And you know what? I gotta give my man credit on this one.
I do.
Yeah, he really pulled this one off.
Yeah.
I mean, just to even inquire, what do you even do to rent a museum? Does anybody know? So clearly he was serious about showing Patrice that it isn't all just fun and games. He's not just a jokester, that he could really step it up.
Yeah, I don't think that he paid for that museum. I think that Ready to Love paid for it.
Okay.
Or
let's not take all the credit away from him. He might have brought it up to the Ready to Love cast. So.
If this is his date idea, I love it. I don't care if he paid for it or not.
Absolutely.
It is a beautiful date idea.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, great idea. He came with the flowers, maybe not the best flower selection.
Yeah, he could have done better with the flowers. And he even said, "Oh, don't hold them over here because too many thorns or something like that."
Right.
Yeah, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, but it's a thought that counts sometimes.
It is.
So clearly Patrice, appreciated everything about this date. I think she actually said it was the best date she ever had, period.
Yes.
And that says a lot, And he did come off very serious. I mean, I didn't see anything that was disingenuous. I think he really likes Patrice. I think he's trying to pull out all the stops here. And I think whatever he sought to accomplish in this date, he did.
Was accomplished, yeah.
Yes.
Really good date. That he had to throw a joke in when he act like he was gonna propose.
Yes, that was good. That was funny though.
It was funny. It's his personality, so it's important that he still maintains his personality while still showing a serious side. I think he did a great job. I love the date, and yeah.
Do you see a genuine connection here?
I definitely see a genuine temporary connection.
Okay.
But they could last though.
Yes.
Yeah, because
who knows? There's always exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
But on paper, this is not supposed to be long term.
Yeah. Seems like a very fun sexual relationship. Honestly, she gonna have a good time with him, right?
Yeah.
He'd probably bring the youthfulness out of her.
Yes, I agree.
Right?
Yep.
She looks pretty though. She grew on me a lot because I didn't. Not that I thought she was not attractive, but it's now she's really grown on me. I'm looking at her face. I'm like, she's a very pretty lady.
Well, you're a sapio woman, so.
And then she carries herself so well and very feminine and.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I like Patrice.
All right, so we will see. All right, so now we're in the ladies' lounge, and Tommy is asking all the ladies about their experiences with their exes and their top connections. But let's first talk about how bad all of the ladies were looking.
Yes.
They were dressed to impress. They looked outstanding. I will say that I think Mika and Vanessa was my top 2, but everybody was looking good. Everybody. Who was your top?
I love my outfit, although it's not my style because I wouldn't wear that. I like my stuff tight. But I like Maya's outfit. My least was Rashina's.
Yeah.
I feel like Rashina, she had a club attire on.
Yeah, I agree.
Which I didn't really like, but nonetheless, the
Nonetheless,
girls look beautiful.
They look good.
Yeah,
they look good.
Yeah, they got a good batch of women this season.
Yeah. All right. So first up was Maya, and Maya had brought up the fact that West, her ex, had brought up the finance question, and Justin was a little shooken up by it. She actually said that William handled it well. We talked about it earlier. I feel like actually William didn't handle it well. I feel like there's nothing that he said that made me feel confident that he in some way can provide for her and take care of her. Unless I'm missing something.
No, I think he handled it well because although he was not able to, he was never shaken or looked insecure or anything about. The difference between Justin and William, both of them ain't got it in my opinion. I don't think they got it. But Justin showed that he was shaking, he was thrown off, his feathers were ruffled. William still showed confidence.
Yeah. All right, so next was Vanessa. Vanessa basically said, well, we all knew would be the case, and that, the ex kind of felt like Chaz was more aligned with, what she would want. Because, Chaz has mentioned marriage and family and these are all the things that Vanessa's already a mother of 2. And so I'm not surprised. And Chaz, come on, every ex ended up like co-signing on Chaz because he knows what to say. And then next up we have Patrice and her ex Dro, which, great date. Obviously we saw how direct Dro was with his questioning. But in the end, Dro was leaning more toward William over Alonzo because she just felt like William was he felt like William was the more grown person. But after that museum date, I don't know that William was giving Patrice that type of energy,
right.
So, and of course, Patrice did bring that up and mention that to the girls, how surprised she was with Alonzo, being so serious, being romantic. She didn't even know that he had this side. But she clearly was impressed by it. Rashina, she talked about her date. She said her ex also liked Chaz, co-signed with Chaz. Obviously her ex wasn't even concerned with the 4 to 5 days of no communication and, this, that, and the other. But, I think he was more concerned with, is this a decent guy? Because if this guy's going to be around my children, I just want to make sure he's all right. And Chaz kind of portrays that. Right. And then Mika informed the whole group that she didn't have any ex, that Tommy filled in, asked some good questions. Of course, she brought up the fact that the gaming question came up with LaRon. LaRon pointed out that he's a avid gamer and he would miss work to be gaming. And clearly this is something that wasn't aligned with Mika because I guess her ex used to be a big gamer. This was a problem in their relationship. But she did say that, her and Justin kind of connected during that date. And that she would, and that she also liked Justin's problem solving, the way that he would go about dealing with an issue that they would have. So then we move into the least connections.
Yeah, so Tommy asked, who are you not feeling? And Mika chose LaRon because she has PTSD from her ex. She also chose Alonzo as well. Maya also chose Alonzo. Vanessa chose Alonzo. Then Patrice chose Dominique. And then also Rashina chose Dominique. And then Maya says she forgot Dominique was even in the process. And then that's basically it. That's all the ladies. And that's who they chose. So at the end, they end up being Dominique and Alonzo at the bottom. Which I think it should have been LaRon and Alonzo.
100%.
Right? That was kind of strange to me.
Yep. But no one other than Patrice is really checking for Alonzo.
Who's checking for LaRon? Oh, wait.
Nobody, right?
Exactly.
Yes, I agree.
Nobody check. At least he got one person checking for him. You got. True. LeBron is not doing good in the process. None of these ladies like him. I'm still wondering how he made it so far, but nonetheless.
Yeah.
And then Tommy announces to the ladies that you ladies take these men out, and we have an announcement. Next week is the pack your bags for a overnight getaway.
Yeah.
With the whole crew. All right, so we have the elimination day. We got Maya, who's having a discussion with Dominique. And then we have Vanessa, who is having a conversation with Alonzo. And they basically start telling the men what they thought about them. And, you know, Vanessa asks Alonzo what was the purpose of him sending a text message.
About the museum
About
situation.
the museum date. You know, she wanted to know what the motive behind that was.
That threw me off. So, all right, that just completely confused me. She was asking, and rightfully so, like, why are you telling me this? I mean, it doesn't even pertain to me. And so I felt like the only reason that he would tell her is maybe to let her know that, yo, you know, I'm about this. I could be serious. I could do things. Maybe because he's interested in her. And then she asked, you know, are you interested in me? Because I haven't seen any intentionality with the way you've been moving. And he said yes. So apparently, I mean, Alonzo is considering Vanessa. And I thought that he was, only focused on Patrice. So that was surprising.
Well, I think he said that. I mean, when you're sitting in front of somebody and they ask you and put you on the spot, are you interested in me? Like, what are you saying?
But why'd he send a text then?
What? He clearly, we gotta use context clues. Like, he sent you a text about another woman. He does not like you. He doesn't, period. He don't like you. So I wouldn't even ask that question if I was Vanessa. I wouldn't ask that question. You're sending me conversations and telling me something that you're doing special for this other woman. You're shutting down the museum for another woman. When you tell me that, that implies that you are not interested in me. So if I was Vanessa, I wouldn't even ask that question. I would not. And not only that, I feel like Alonzo was put on the spot. That's one reason why he told Vanessa that he liked her. I mean, I don't really... So, yeah, the camera's around and he's asking. He don't want to embarrass her on live TV, so he's stuck saying, yeah. And at the end of the day, Vanessa is a baddie. She's beautiful. So he is attracted to her, but does he like her? No. Yeah. We all know that Alonzo is going to check for one person, and that is Patrice. Okay? So if any woman is sitting here thinking that Alonzo liked them, like, shut up. She says she told Alonzo that he's still ready to love. Alonzo looked extremely relieved, right?
Like she even said, like, are you about to cry? Yeah.
I really think Alonzo liked Patrice, y'all. I really do.
Right? He does, but man, I mean, that was just...
After that, we have Maya and Dominique. You want to talk about that, babe?
Yeah, so with Maya and Dominique, I mean, Maya was pointing out what I think all of the ladies came to the conclusion of, that he just doesn't seem intentional enough. He doesn't put in any work, you know. And what's interesting about that date is he is perceiving himself and what he's doing one way, and everybody else is seeing it differently.
Right.
So, you know, in the end, and it's crazy because he actually, in my opinion, started at the top of the pack. And now, of course, we're talking the first 2 episodes. And he is easily at the bottom of the pack right now.
Yeah, he's actually a disappointment because he came off very confident. You know, he seemed like a good listener. He seemed like somebody who's going to pursue a woman, who knows what he wants. And he just ended off bad, y'all. Lackluster, insecure. He actually, you know what I was thinking? Do you think Dominique and Chaz has a lot in common?
In what way?
I feel like both of them talk a lot of crap.
Well, okay, so this is where I would say they differ. They both talk crap, but Chaz is good at it. And therefore, Chaz ends up getting things as a result of being able to talk good.
And Chaz is believable.
And Dominique is not doing any of that.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got it.
You're right about that.
So no surprise, Dominique is not ready to love.
And he's surprised. He was surprised that he was eliminated. I'm like, why are you surprised?
Some people just, lack of self-awareness.
Yeah.
You just don't see what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know? Or either that or you just don't want to see it.
Exactly.
So
I'm like, you really have to think, are you pursuing? Are you calling these women? Are you texting them? Are you communicating? Are you coming for them? If you're not doing that, then you're not pursuing.
Exactly.
Like, what is so hard to see? Ask yourself, reflect. But he gonna say, oh, I'm not changing anything. I'm not willing to change. I don't understand why people say stuff like that. Right. If somebody's giving you constructive feedback, like, this is a way that The thing I like about this show is an opportunity that you're never going to be able to get again. A bunch of people telling you how you are being perceived.
Yes.
And this is an opportunity for you to reflect and say what I could do better. A lot of times you're dating somebody, they don't tell you the truth about yourself, why they broke up with you, tell you about your strengths and your weaknesses, you know? And on this show, they're able to tell you that. And I just feel like if collectively all the ladies are saying the same thing about you, then, you know, take that into consideration. Don't just say, oh, I ain't got to change. I don't like that.
Anyways. So, Dominique's gone?
Dominique is gone. Yeah, he is gone. So, anyways, y'all, thank you so very much for tuning in to this week's review of Ready to Love Season 9, Episode 8. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share. Let us know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Also, tune into our new series, The Ultimate... What is it called again, baby?
Ultimate Healthy Relationship.
The Ultimate Healthy Relationship series.
Where we discuss different aspects of a relationship and kind of explain how we've been able to work through those different areas.
Yes, our strong areas. Yeah. Which is quite a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, be sure to tune into that series. And that's basically it. And on that note, TND is...
out.
Bye, y'all.
All right.